excited to share something very new with everybody. I've recently become acquainted with a wonderful local builder here in Los Angeles by the name of Tomas Delgado from Candelas Guitars. And we brainstormed together very recently and decided to collaborate on building an ideal guitar that would be very playable and enjoyable and affordable. And the idea of doing that was to be inspired by the old tradition of particularly the Granada tradition. And so I happen to own two very old Manuel de la Chica guitars. One is from 1963 and one is from 1953, which I recently acquired last year. And those guitars are some of the best guitars I've ever played in my life. And we decided to take the blueprint, a lot of the elements of these two guitars, plus in addition to that some of my own personal preferences, which I have sort of refined over the years with my experience and my desires. And every time you buy a new guitar, you check a new guitar, you always see a few elements. Oh, I love this, but it lacks a little of that. Or this is great, but it needs a little more of this. But the guitar's already done, and then one never really follows through. And so what I decided to do with Tomas is to actually take charge and to follow through with taking the best elements that existed in those two guitars and add a few extra elements that, again, are my personal preference, and many people seem to like them as well. So we decided to put them together and formulate it into something very specific. What you have here are two different models. This is what we're going to call the player's model. It is the more affordable model, and it's made of Sitka spruce from Alaska and cypress back and sides. And it's going to have regular machines. And here the neck, we spent agonizing hours to really get it millimetrically precise so that the left hand is very, very comfortable in the shifting. And we went to a lot of extensive detail in terms of getting the tension right of the guitar. There's something to be said for having the right tension, not just in terms of degree of tension, but character of tension. And many builders, when I talk to them about the character of a tension, they look at me like I fell from the moon. But in reality, there is something to be said for the way the string behaves when you just stroke the finger off of it. Some guitars can be not very high tension, but your fingers and your hands sink into it and they slow you down, which means it has a slow response. Some guitars are too tense and they're going to just kill your hand, so you're working way too hard and you're not flexible enough. This tension is, again, something that I work with Tomas very closely to try and get it just right in terms of the angle, in terms of the character, so that when I, just do this, the hand just flows. It's just very, very fast response. And also, of course, talking about the tone quality, I must say, these guitars are 5 days old, which usually guitars take at least a year or two to really open up. And these are already responding very, very quickly. And of course, they're going to evolve tremendously. But already from the very beginning, one sees a very, very promising quality, which is, I would like to delineate a couple of different characteristics, actually, which are very important to me. One is that the chords sound extremely flamenco. When I'm strumming, the rasgueados sounds very crisp, has a great snap, and very, very punchy and masculine. And those are the qualities you want to have in a flamenco guitar. Effortless rasgueado. Everybody can sound like Pepe Habichuela, who's got the best rasgueado. I wish. It's very, very, the response is fantastic. So many times you have guitars that sound really great in chords. The minute you start playing single lines, they don't have life. And here again, this guitar is only 5 days old, but already it shows tremendous promise and reality. Real. I can play sweet, the guitar sustains. As you can hear, the single notes really ring out and punch very clear and very, very strongly, and also the evenness from the basses to the trebles is very, very balanced. And again, those are qualities normally that take, you know, months and sometimes years to really find their level, and already this guitar is ready to go. So I'm very, very pleased with the results. Again, these are the first prototypes, and I'm very excited to see you know, more development. But this already is, I was very concerned at first, I have to admit, because you never know what's going to happen. But I'm very, very surprised. Let's look at this model here, which is, this is the Supreme model, which has a, this is a top grade of European spruce, which is a little bit more cured, has different nuances, a little darker. And we have the mechanical pegs here, which are just amazing because they have the look of the traditional pegs, but without all the killing of your hands right before you're about to play. So I love these pegs. And again, this is the Supreme model, so it comes only with this. And by the way, I sign every single guitar for my approval. If Tomas messes up, this guitar goes in the fire. So far, so good. This is the Supreme model. What can I say? Take a good listen. Again, this guitar is like a lion. It's like a gladiator. Trebles to me sound like trumpets. Berlioz is the one who said that the guitar is a portable orchestra. Well, then it's incumbent upon the guitar builder to bring out those nuances and those colors as he builds. So if I want to hear a trumpet, then it needs to be there. If I want to hear a flute, it needs to be there. If I want to hear trombones, it needs to be there. If I want to hear double basses and cellos, it needs to sound rich and respond to the appropriate orchestral color you want to bring out in your playing. So this guitar again, similar engineering, slight differences in certain some important aspects. Certainly the grade of the wood this is absolutely superior. This is fantastic, of course, but the playability of this guitar is great. And again, the snap of that crunch that makes a flamenco guitar flamenco. This is what distinguishes it from a classical, is to get the snap, but the snap comes from the construction rather than a faulty tension where it just buzzes aimlessly against the fingerboard. The crunch and the masculine sound that is typical to flamenco has to be, again, engineered from the ground up and not just achieved by having a sort of a faulty tension somewhere where it just, I'm exaggerating now, where it just, you know, the sound breaks easily. Here the sound, the strings and the tension have the right resistance. And again, very effortless playing. So these are the new guitars which are going to be the model that I'm endorsing and working with. They'll bear my name. And of course, Tomas Delgado is the builder par excellence, with many years of experience. And here we are, taking it to the next level. Thanks.